So it's time for Savings Appeal, and we're sharing an insider list with you. It's the 10 things that you need to know when you're planning your retirement. And we're joined, as always, by Dylan Bond. He's the income plan man. You're the owner of Bond Financial Services. You're going to explain. So this list comes from this book right here, the 10 things that you need to know when planning your retirement income. And when people see you and they meet with you, oftentimes you let them leave with that book.
Absolutely. Basically, I work with people that are 50 and older, they're at or near retirement, and this book here is just 10 of the most common topics that face most Americans that are coming into the retirement phase of their life. And to me, the more education that they can get, the easier it will be for them to make decisions and understand the options that are available for them.
And it makes it easier for you too, because so often you go and you talk to a financial planner and it's all this mumbo jumbo, and it's like when you get your car fixed, you just say yeah because you don't know what you're talking about. But that's why you break it down for people, because you'd rather them learn.
No question. The problem is when you get a bunch of mumbo jumbo, 10 years down the road, when the account doesn't work the way you thought it worked, that's when you have problems. And the way I see it is, the more education we can give the families prior to them making any decisions, the less surprises we're going to have down the road. And again, the less surprises we have down the road, and the more consistent our plans are and attainable, we're going to have good relationships with our clients, and that's what we're looking to accomplish.
And that's what it's all about, because you're a local business, and people can go and they meet with you. It's nice. It's not just a big institution. It's Dylan Bond Financial Services.
That's right.
So, number one tip, because we have 10 tips coming up. The first one is that people these days are living a heck of a lot longer than they used to.
Absolutely. The fact of the matter is, back in 1935, when Social Security was created, they anticipated paying out benefits for somewhere between 12 and 15 years. So that if a 65-year-old retired and collects Social Security, Social Security expected them to be dead by about 12 years later.
Yeah.
Okay. So the problem now is people start turning on the Social Security faucet at 62. They have an 85% chance of living past 85. And a 34% chance of living to 95.
And people can't be fooled, because Social Security isn't the only bucket that you're going to withdraw money from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one. Most of the families I work with, they can't live their retirement life off of Social Security alone.
It's not enough.
No, they're leaning on their pensions. They're leaning on their their 401ks, their IRAs, and their other savings. Which brings us to another big topic that's been in the news all morning is what's going on in Detroit.
Yeah, this is big news.
Big news. If you think about it, for those people in Detroit that relied only on their pension, thinking that nothing could happen to that, it's looking like right now people that are collecting those city pensions could potentially end up in a position where they're going to get their wages cut in a time when the cost of goods and services that they consume are growing at a pretty rapid pace. So that's going to be very scary.
In case people out there don't know, I guess what happened is in Detroit, people who had pensions, which are going by the wayside as it is, they're slashing their pensions.
Well, what happened is Detroit filed bankruptcy, and as a result, the pension plan is not protected according to the ruling that the federal judge made yesterday. So it's concerning, because there are a lot of pensions out there that are city pensions, government pensions, that are not meeting the current pension requirements. And with Detroit filing bankruptcy, I think it's the tip of the iceberg. I think we're going to start to see other cities follow suit. So my message to people that I'm working with is, you never want to rely on one source of income.
Yeah, be it a pension, be it Social Security.
You want to have layered income from different sources. So if something like this happens, we can always turn on income from another source to offset that difference, and then not change their lifestyle.
And as you were saying too, if people are going to live 30 years in retirement, if your money's just in the bank making nothing, that's not even going to beat inflation. Because if you think about it, you have inflation of food, even things like stamps go up.
Well, the last 10 years, the inflation rate is about 2.5%. But if you think about it, gasoline is not included in the inflation rate.
And that's more than 2%.
Home heating oil, not included. Medical, healthcare, not included. Food, not included. And if you look at the cost of food, the cost of medical services and fuel oil over the last 10 years, I'd argue it's closer to 5 or 6%.
It's pretty high.
Than it is 2.5.
So as you were saying, and that's why we need to diversify. That's why Social Security is not enough. That's why pensions aren't enough. We have to sit down and talk to someone, because if not, it's going to be a rude awakening come retirement time.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's the bottom line. And don't rely on income from volatile sources like the market going up and down. That's a very dangerous path to go down.
Dylan, great tips. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to the rest of these tips on the list, and I bet you are too. And you can visit bondfinancialservices.net or give them a call, 413-754-4747. Just let Dylan, George, and the whole staff take the steps to secure your financial future. Ahead on